Guys, how you guys doing today?
Good,
Not
man.
too shabby.
Happy
I had a
Independence Day.
train of thought, and then this car drove behind me, and I totally forgot what I was gonna say to kick us off. God damn it! Oh boy.
To be
Independence
fair,
Day.
I heard it.
I did too.
I was
could
like, wow, that
hear
was
it.
really loud. And then I blanked. I had it all prepared.
Yeah, you bitch.
Jesus, I had it all prepared. And then Ben made a suggestion right before we started, and that also it was like two things in a row that took me off of my train of thought. Obviously, it's 4th of July, celebrating the fight against the aliens. That's why we celebrate today.
I just watched that last night.
That's not it. That's the make believe version.
Well, I guess we'll go with what Ben said. I'm totally like at a loss for words. Your craziest Independence Day story, your craziest.
So nothing ever happens for me on Independence Day because I had to be back at work today because
I
I
don't even know if I have a story for that.
I don't think I do either.
But one
about this?
Canada Day.
Go
I'll
ahead, Ben,
tell you
go
this
ahead. Yeah,
quick.
you're
One Canada Day, I went camping with some friends, and we decided we were going to light some fireworks off. Right? Always seems like a good choice at the time. We got it all set up. We have like a barricade with a truck and everything, and it's fantastic. Buddy lights it off. Nothing's happening. So he goes back over, like picks up the firework, and it explodes in his hand and literally took off the end of his pinky finger. We never found it. We had to rush him to the hospital. Thankfully, we hadn't even started drinking yet. So we were able to get in the car, drive this guy to the hospital, missing a finger with just like a bundle of paper towel over him. Never found it. Never found it. He's pinkyless at this point. So
Like the whole
was
pinky
crazy.
or just the tip?
just like the tip, like from like here down,
man.
like
That's
gone.
wild.
Just the
So-
part that matters.
So now, when Marco said to us yesterday that he was going to miss today's show because he wanted to go explore fireworks, I was like, "Watch your pinky finger." I'm saying,
Yeah, fuck that. Fireworks. I'll go watch them, but I ain't getting anywhere close to them.
Yeah. Wow. Dean or Ben, what was the most patriotic, for your respective countries that you've ever felt?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Bro, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I'll never forget that night, bro. When we killed Bin Laden,
Fucking awesome, dude.
I remember. I told the story in After Dark a few months ago, but we
Yeah, all the seals killed him?
rushed. Yeah, I mean,
was
what
he
was he
doing
doing out in the middle of the
swimming?
ocean? we not rushed, but we had like a drunk college kid gathering at the center of our university square, and we're just chanting USA. I've never felt more patriotic than that. It was.
Hell yeah, dude.
We got that motherfucker. What about you, Ben?
it's a good question. I feel like I haven't had a ton of patriotic moments other than in grade 10, I was part of drama class at the time. I always liked drama class because it didn't feel like a real class, and we got to put on a Remembrance Day assembly. And I was able to pick a couple of the things that we did for like music and the play itself and everything. And then, obviously we all stand up in remembrance at the end, and people really liked the play. It was really cool. It was really exciting. So that was fun. Other than that, I went and spent Canada Day 1 year at Niagara Falls, the Canadian side. And the amount of people that were there celebrating Canada Day definitely was really cool, seeing all the flags.
Two
What?
things.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what is Remembrance Day? And what is Canada Day?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask.
Remembrance Day in Canada remembers the D-Day battle. So basically,
Oh, I see. Like
Okay.
Veterans or
Veterans
Memorial
Day. Yeah, very
I
much the
see.
same. It's November 11th for us in Canada.
Oh, yeah, that's the same day for us. Look at that.
Yeah,
We're not so
Well,
different.
D-Day was only on one day.
Was D-Day on November 11th?
Was
I
it?
thought it was
I
on
don't
June.
remember. I don't remember when D-Day was.
Or it might have been December. Let's look up D-Day.
But yeah, it's what do you call it? Veterans Day,
Yeah, June 6th. Yeah.
June 6th.
Well, there's Veterans and Memorial Day. Veterans, if I recall correctly, is for those that are still alive, and Memorial Day is for
Yeah.
those that are past.
And sorry, what was your second question?
What is Canada Day?
Oh, Canada Day is just like
It's like Timmy Hortons free, or
No, it's when when our Constitution basically was created for Canada. It celebrates that. So it was done on July.
you guys have a
1st.
Constitution?
No, but it's our version of the Constitution.
Okay,
I was
and
like, because you still have a king and a queen, right?
We do, yeah. Well, technically, we still have a prime minister as well. So
so July 4th is when we declared our independence from England, Great Britain. I don't know anything about Canada. Who did you guys?
We didn't declare independence. It was more so that we created, Canada was
country.
became a country on that day. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know there's French Canadians.
Let me ask you this.
French Canadians aren't real Canadians. I'm just kidding.
That's a good question.
In case anybody's listening.
So we have George Washington and the founding fathers. Is there a Canada founding fathers? Do you guys have a version of that?
Yeah.
Really? Who are they?
Or anything?
Oh,
Well, that's the queen or the king.
It's been too many years. I thought of another one. I felt pretty patriotic the day that Canada legalized cannabis across the board.
Canadis.
Cool.
They should have called it Canadis Day.
Well, you remember that, so it's pretty recent.
Yeah, it was October 18th of 2018.
Oh, shit. That's really recent. Wow. Mm-hmm. I can't wait till it's legalized here.
It was cool because I went and actually bought it with my debit card, which felt really sketchy at the time because I was normally buy it in cash in a back alley from somewhere. Now you could use your debit card and get some points. So it's cool. Felt pretty patriotic.
Speaking of points, we got some points to pass out today. Let's get into it.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
This is the true form of lore gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
And I'm Ben.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank everyone out there, wherever you're watching, whether it's live or on the replay, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Zach, where are we all? We're so many places.
Oh,
SoundCloud,
Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, basically everywhere. It shoots it to everywhere. We pay a lot of money for that. It shoots it everywhere.
Yeah. It's like shooting ropes. We shoot it everywhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just rope after rope of warm, hot, sticky audio. Abe Dunk TV says, I look up to Tuesday because my favorite show, my favorite guys come on, I can relax. Y'all make the bad days become happy days. Thank you. Thank you. That's really nice of you to say.
Really nice.
We have a short-ish show. Every time I say that, it ends up being the longer shows, but we don't have a lot to talk about, so we're going to stretch this out as long as we can. Doc Snizzle, the rocket gets me every time I feel patriotic watching that thing lift off. To Katri, Jason Nelson, who was responsible for both of my new this week's. We also have Trooping with Robin, Brian Fontaine. Throw that into the RSS feed into your podcast catcher of choice. Look at that. Erwin says Oxfordy will be back with Canadian Day questions. I don't know if we're doing Oxfordy still. There was such a vitriol, such a hate for the last Jeopardy.
Yeah.
A lot of backlash. So I don't know if I'm ever doing it again. Sam Gist Niculio. We also have 12-inch Moose Dream, Toy Cartel. Again, Brian Fontaine. Maxim M. Ben so high right now. Absolute Irwin. Fresh Ox Fire. Alid says, hey, provincials, y'all suck. Love that. SpongeBob SquareBalls. Let's see. Thor Gaming, Carlito, Toy Mafia. I went backwards this time. Change it up a little bit.
I rarely smoke before the Tuesday live show. Almost any other show I'm on, I'm okay too. But this show, you never know what the hot seat is going to bring. That one time I couldn't think of anything for hot seat. Yeah, never.
Legendary moment.
Never.
Badfish in the chat as well. I don't even have my slides up. What am I doing with my life? I have nothing.
You got a nice dress shirt on though. You look like you're going on a date with Dean up there tonight.
I wish one could be so lucky. One could be so lucky. Dean, we have a very special segment that we kick off all of the best shows with.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
It's new this week. Yeah. What'd you get new this week? I got a Hot Toys Nebula from a listener of the show, Patrick Innocent. Shout out, Patrick. What a guy. Beautiful figure. It's like, honestly, brand spanking new. So, like, no creases. All the accessories are there. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. Nebula is gorgeous. So, she's going to plop right down in front of, next to Thanos for the time being. I know this is not the good outfit, but I don't have all my other figures set up, so. But I do have Thanos set up because he's fucking awesome. So.
What do you mean the good outfit?
Well, this is her Ravager outfit.
No, I think that's the better outfit.
No, but like she doesn't wear this when she's with Thanos, is what I mean.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, so.
No, it looks good.
Heck yeah, that's what I got. And I also got these. I forgot to send them in the chat from the beautiful, lovely Zach.
Wow.
Look at these.
Oh, look at that.
Tell everybody what these are, Zach.
Those are Daft Punk, the robots. Oh my gosh, Lego minifigs. Or not, well, third-party brick-built minifigs.
Yeah. I don't know what their like technical name for them is. Well, I asked you to tell them what they were.
Yeah, who knows? Who
But
knows, right?
Daft Punk Lego, so
There we go.
in their Tron Legacy outfits and their Random Access Memory outfits, 2 sets. That's nice. So
Yeah.
thank you, Zach.
No problem. Maxim M says, Zach, did you poop in Dean's toilet yet? Dean has made me a deal. He said when we hit 3,000 subscribers, I could take a shit in his toilet.
I did not say that.
Right around the corner. If you guys want to see that,
It's right around
smash
the
that sub button, baby. I don't ask for it often. Thor says, why are the Avengers boxes so massive where Ben got Thanos? That box looked huge from the pics. It's a pretty big box.
It's huge.
It is a pretty big box. I got 2 figures, and it was funny because last Friday I saw Jason Nelson, and I had known that he was taking to that he was going rather to Target, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen Jason in a while, but I also need to go to the same Target, so I'm gonna go fuck with him and see if I can meet up with him at the toy aisle. And sure enough, he was there, and he had this Dial of Destiny Indiana Jones, and he's like, oh yeah, I was just gonna grab it for you if you needed it, and so he let me pick it up. Pretty good figure, but I was kind of bummed because I really wanted that Raiders of the Lost Ark Indiana Jones. And Jason, the sweet guy, the angel that he is, he knew I was looking for one. He found a pair at HEB, and I've struck out maybe 10 times in a row looking for this figure. Been hunting like crazy, and yeah, he was nice enough to pick it up for me at retail. And honestly, of all the figures that I've bought this year, it's top 3. And I would even say for 1/12 that has released this year, because I don't think technically, I think the Symbiote Spider came out at the end of last year, Marvel Legends. This may be my favorite figure that has been released this year. It comes with 6 hands. It comes with the pistol, 2 whips, one that's kind of unfurled and one that's wrapped up. It comes with the golden idol and then like a little Build-A-Figure piece. It is incredible. The paint is great. The only thing that I did to it was add a little bit of a dull coat to the face. It was real like wet looking, which you would think it's like a sweat effect, but it's just the way that Hasbro prints the face printing technology. It gets real like glossy looking. So matte coated that, and yeah, this is absolutely incredible. Jason in the chat says, this is my favorite line of figures for the year so far. And Erwin says, looks good. Can't wait for the symbiote version of this Zach. Yeah, I can't wait either. But yeah, this is such a sweet pickup. Right now I'm just looking for the Temple of Doom Indiana Jones, and then I guess we'll see if they make a Last Crusade one. But yeah, this is such a neat line of figures, and you know, $25 a pop, you're getting all those accessories and you know, a really nice sculpted figure. So certainly can't complain about that. Ben, you didn't get anything to this week, right?
Nothing new this week, but as you guys can see, like, I'm unboxing my whole collection room at the moment because I just built both cabinets. So my display room now has got cabinets on this side and cabinets on this side, which is cool. And then, yeah, I have to get them all out of the boxes. So I've spent a couple of days slowly posing one at a time, streaming with Dean in the back room there, just hanging out and getting stuff out. So it's been cool. Wow. I don't need anything. I did stop at a comic book store today. I almost bought myself Wonder Woman 84, and I talked myself out of it for now. Maybe next week.
Thor, let me know what you mean about that. I'm not quite sure. Let's get into the news. We'll stick with Indiana Jones. Now, this is odd because at least as far as I could tell on Sideshow, it is not up for pre-order yet. A lot of people are concerned about that. I wouldn't be that concerned. But you do have two options. So we're going to kind of swap between photos as we go because the base figure is the same. As far as the portrait goes, I thought that they had gotten Han Solo dead to rights with the Force Awakens version, the Han Solo. The Harrison Ford here looks fantastic. Like I have zero complaints about this. The hat looks excellent. The jacket, the accessories look excellent. We also have genuine leather, which you love to see. I think the last genuine leather jacket that we saw was on the X-Men Origins Wolverine, so love to see that. It also says, if I'm reading this correctly, the jacket or the shoes and the whip are leather as well. So love to see that being sprinkled in. Hot Toys is doing a little bit of a new thing, which I don't know if I love. I don't know if I hate it, but they have a little tiny little clamp that wraps around the calf of the figure to hold it upright. Whether or not that's going to work remains to be seen, but I do kind of like that as an alternative to the magnets. I think it's perhaps a little bit sturdier. And yeah, the difference here is the diorama style base. The standard figure just comes with the typical Hot Toys base. But I'm wondering, Dean, is this something you're interested in? And I guess if you have a guess on the price on this one.
No, this is not what I think of when I think of Indiana Jones. Objectively, it looks fantastic. It's just not what I would want on the shelf as that representation. I love the leather whip, shoes, and jacket. I think that's fantastic. Can't remove the hat, which is kind of a bummer. But it's whatever. I mean, it doesn't look terrible. And I would probably have him with the hat on anyway, but it's just, you lack that feature. But yeah, the tailoring looks great. The accessories are cool. Price point wise, I mean, we're seeing still around the $280 mark, but this is genuine leather, so I'll probably put it closer to like $330, $340. It's got a pretty intricate base and a ton of accessories. So yeah, I think $340-ish. What about you, Ben?
Oh, price-wise, I was going to say $340 in that range, maybe $345, make it interesting. Carlito says, Buzz Lightyear didn't come to Sideshow right away either. Probably the same situation. I think that there was a week delay on it going up for PO or pre-order. I think this is an amazing figure. I think the likeness to Harrison Ford is bang on. Super excited about that. Now, I hear what you guys are saying when you feel like it's not necessarily your indie, because for me, I'd say Temple of Doom is probably my favorite, although I rewatched Last Crusade again 2 nights ago and had a really fun time with it. I love the trials at the end of that film. It's so cool. And Sean Connery is, a badass in that film as well. It's crazy to think that Indy in this film is 26 years older than Sean Connery was in The Last Crusade. That is crazy. Now, one of the things that I think they've also done really well here that you guys haven't mentioned is how good the neck looks. Like, look at that picture on the left, how it ages on the neck there. I think that looks fantastic. Now, if you pose it away, you could technically probably get a custom head sculpt of a younger Indiana Jones. It's not like his outfit changes all that much. So I think you could do that, although I know a lot of folks already had that Present Toys Indy, and that kind of filled the void for a lot of people. So I'm going to sleep on this for a little bit, though. I haven't seen the film yet. That usually is what really drives my nostalgia punch in the chest to buy a figure right away. And I wouldn't totally be surprised if they let us sit with this one for a little while, being Hot Toys, and then give us a young Indiana Jones. Yeah, and then we have this which one do we buy or both type of conversation. So I'm gonna wait a little bit on this, but it's a badass release. It's very cool.
Yeah, one thing collecting these figures that you do notice is the difference in the outfits just a little bit. So the trousers are different, and at least according to the figure, the figure of the Raiders has 2 belts. So he has a gun belt, which is what the the whip hooks onto, and this one would just have one. The shirts are a little bit different, so you could probably futz it for like the casual eye. And I know there's people that have that indie eye, which I don't have. I know Pete from OFAC, he has like, I think 20 Indiana Jones figures in his collection of basically every scene from the trilogy. I don't know that he has any of the 4th film, but yeah, he would probably, laser focus on that like I would a Gandalf. But yeah, for sure, this is a figure that, if you had that other portrait from, a different company or some third party, there's some fantastic customizers out there that make indie heads. Yeah, absolutely, you could swap this out. Dean, there's also something kind of neat about this. This was, we'll check in on this later to tell you what you got, but you had called this as being a potential figure. We did do sort of summer predictions, and so this was the only one that has converted so far. So Dean Stradamus is getting some points, and we'll talk about that later. 1/6. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Christian Cooper says, do you guys think they will have a young version? I think it would be unwise for Hot Toys to solicit a young version at this moment. I think you go one or the other. You give it some time, and then you bring out that second one. I think if you brought up both, I would almost guarantee that this one is going to sell less, because most people identify with that younger classic trilogy figure. So Kingdon said that was my comment about when I saw the new movie. He doesn't wear his revolver anymore. More so, I guess, because you could fly a plane with them in the 70s.
Sorry, Zach, did you say you think they'll still make one, though, or just not right now?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think it really depends. I haven't seen the film, but Irwin says that in some scenes they may have de-aged him. So they might have some sort of... Okay, so I don't think I've even seen the trailer. They may have some reason to release a figure, right? If they de-age him in the film, who knows, right? But I for me, if I was to get one, I personally didn't like Temple of Doom that much. They're just in the temple the whole time. Like it's kind of boring to me. Look, I love Short Round though, but I think where classic indie for me, if they made a Raiders one, that would be my cup of tea, right?
I'd want one of those melting guys at the end of the film as well.
Yeah, right, there you go. I would say for me, I'm thinking $295 regular, $330 deluxe. That's what I'm thinking. There are a lot of people that are concerned with the deluxe figure, that the base is so tall, it may hamper its ability to be in a DTOF. That's certainly going to be a thing. So, if you get in the deluxe, perhaps have some alternative display spaces available, because you think the figure's 12 inches, maybe 11 crouched down, plus a 4-inch base. You're right up at the top of the DTOF, plus the hat. So just be aware of that. And for what it's worth, DTOFs, I think 2 of the shelves are taller, so you may be able to get away with this. But if you're Hot Toys and you didn't take that into account, I think that's a really, really odd sort of slip up there.
You know what they might have done? They might have taken into consideration that you could go to Zach's Wonderland and get the DTOF spacers.
Bam, baby. There you go. Zach's
I got you, boy. I got you, dog.
Yeah. Now, the one thing, though, that is very interesting, and I said this earlier, but if this is going to be the norm, right, this tiny little specialized figure holder, it's going to be interesting if this becomes the norm. I think it is. I think I kind of like it.
Well, you better have stiff knees. You better have stiff knees. I thought you were going to say, like, what stands out to you here is that these legs look so incredibly young in comparison to the rest of the body.
It really does.
Suspect.
Well, this isn't the most
really
flattering
suspect.
photo.
I mean, if you took his shirt off, he's probably ribbed. But yeah. I mean, this only works for this character, right? With loose pants. Because you can't.
You're right. Yeah, you wouldn't do this like on a superhero, like the Batman, right?
Yeah, or Star-Lord, or somebody with.
Dean, I give you that. You know what, Dean?
Yeah.
Let me give you a point for that.
Because even if they have those plastic boot sleeves, that's gonna grab on and dig into that plastic. So
Yeah.
What if
I
it's,
honestly don't see crotch grabbers going anywhere. They're usually the safer option. Magnets have kind of not worked because magnets work, except Ben just said a second ago, you got to have stiff knees. Knees are usually never the problems. It's ankles.
It's the ankles,
and if the magnet is just on the feet, 100%, your character will fall eventually. Might not be today or tomorrow, but eventually you're going to come home and that figure is going to be face first.
what about like
glass.
what about like a spike through the leg, almost like a key on a statue? You know what I mean? Like something that you could peg them right into it. It would reduce the ability to pose, maybe, but
Yeah,
It depends, right? For
point.
like some character, it also is that argument, right? Like a Spider-Man character where you would see the soles of the feet,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a big asshole. So
Yeah, and then it would run up through the calf, so you couldn't.
rotate the ankle.
Because like this only
couldn't
goes
have
to the calf.
ankle
Though.
rotation. Now, with something like Nebula, where there's no like boot cut, that might work, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there are definitely some characters where this would work, some where it won't work on others, and vice versa. So
it's
The
tough.
chat
The
really wants
age-old
Marco
question.
to be right with the magnets.
Magnets for Marco, baby. Now this is real low hanging fruit, but the Supergirl by Hot Toys, this one is $265 and releasing July to December 2024. I'll start off with the positive. I think the base is excellent. That red and blue motif with that sort of anodized metal look. I love that. I also think that the body on this release is fantastic. The actress Sasha, what's her last name? Callie, I think.
I don't know how to
Cal
pronounce
L,
it.
something like that.
Kelly.
One of the most beautiful women that I've ever seen, and an amazing body, and I think they really captured that here in the figure. Also interesting to note, this is a wired cape, which is fantastic. You do also get some teasers of Zod in these photos. The portrait, I think, is where it loses me. I think the hair is both too thick, the forehead too large, and the brows too prominent. I don't love it. This is a beautiful actress, and I really feel like they really missed the mark on this portrait. I've seen people say, if you don't like it, don't buy it, and I hate to hear that. I've seen people complaining about this in a very negative way. I think it's important to give criticism, but not make it personal. And I think Hot Toys is very aware of the shortcomings that the perception is of the sculpt. They had made this their cover photo. A few hours later, they changed it back. I think it was back to Indiana Jones. So at least in some way, they are aware. It even made it to IGN News that this was the fan backlash. But yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this portrait. Everything from the neck down, though, I think this is some of their finest work. From the neck up, I think it needs a lot of work. What do you think, Ben?
I think the figure body is incredible. It looks really, really good in that suit. I don't hate the head sculpt by any stretch. I just think it's missing on some of the details. I was on Leal's show the other day, and I said, to me it looks almost like, she's got home from the bar, she's kind of taking her makeup off, and she's getting ready for bed. Like she's, like some of those accentuated highlights in the eyebrows and stuff just aren't quite as dark. Some lip liner and stuff like that would highlight some of those features I think are missing. But I don't think it looks as, like the picture on the left, the top left corner there, I still see Sasha in that portrait up to a certain extent. And I think Hot Toys will listen to this feedback. I think that they're kind of forced to at this point, especially if a big media outlet like IGN is getting involved, getting people rallied, to talk about this. I think it would be surprising for them to not update it. But I still pre-ordered this the other day because I'm interested in having the character. I think she's cool. I thought she was one of my favorite parts of the film. And I have faith, unlike Doc Brown, which bit me in the butt a little bit, that they will actually update this by the time we get it in hand. So I don't want to miss out. What about you, Dean?
I don't think it's as bad as some people are making it out to be, but the details are a little soft. It's like they didn't quite go, like when they were sculpting it, they didn't quite go deep enough on like the features of the lips and the nose and the eyes. But like it's not like a total miss. I would say this is like 75%, which isn't terrible but for a prototype, I think prototypes need to be, 90 95%, accurate. So it's a little concerning. But yeah, I definitely think they're going to address this. I hope they do. Because like even the cape seems very like haphazardly done, kind of lazy. Like that just looks kind of cheese. Like really? I don't know if it's like the material they use or whatever, but like it's very flat, doesn't look very detailed. Like I don't know, like I don't like it.
Yeah.
But you said it came in at $265?
Yes, $265.
That's lower than what we've been seeing, and not by much, but it is. Now she doesn't come with a whole lot, but yeah, I would definitely, and a lot of people have been wanting this character on their shelf and in the movies, so it's finally here. It's definitely something I would keep my eye on. Because we've been seeing a lot of figures sell out recently, which is not usually what we're used to. So I would definitely say, if you're on the fence, definitely stay vigilant and keep an eye on this, because it could potentially be a figure that's hard to get later.
It is interesting, though, how kind of inconsistent the face sculpts are. Like, even from this very film, we've seen Ezra Miller's Flash, we've seen Keaton, and we've seen this figure. Keaton seemed to be the softest of the two figures at first. This one now seems kind of the softest. But then you get, like, spoiler, we get to see Fennec Shan that we'll talk about later. And that figure looks incredible. It's like, we talk about shrink ray, like, it's insane.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can they get her so close and yet this one still so far off, even though I don't hate it, vitrally like some folks do.
I mean...
Yeah. It's also a year ago, though, that they made Fennec.
Yeah, and even when you think about like characters like Reva, which
better, though, over time.
One of the best head sculpts we've ever seen.
Yeah.
I honestly think they probably take extra care with Star Wars than a DC movie that didn't do that good, and it's like on the way out. Like we'll probably never see these characters again moving forward with the new timeline they're going with. So it's kind of like, it's, just get these figures out, let people complete their shelves.
But then that Ezra was pretty good. Like, it's...
Yeah.
I agree. It seems like they pushed this one out, but...
Yeah, to compare apples to apples, I would say the best thing that we can compare, Ezra's really close, right? It's just a few weeks ago. But the indie, like, this is the same week, the same company. One is so incredibly well done, and the other one is, like,
but they
certainly
also
needs a lot of improvement.
But they also... reuse the Han Solo sculpt, which was incredibly well done because it's Star Wars. So.
Did they reuse the entire sculpt, or you think they reused it? Because
you
gotta clarify that.
I put them both side by side.
Allegedly,
we were on Will Stream, and it looks like the exact same sculpt. I mean, minus like the hair, but it looks like the same sculpt to me.
Yeah, there you go. That's a better way to put it than just flat out saying like they reused the sculpt.
Well, it's the same dude. It is supposed to look the same.
That's true. Maybe it is a completely unique sculpt, but it is Harrison Ford, so yeah, it could just look like
both good
sculpts. I really like this base though, man. It's got that light up feature. Like this has the potential to be. I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know how important this girl is in the movie. I don't know how much screen time she gets. I don't know. But this has the potential, if they get this portrait right, in my opinion. I would disagree with Dean a little bit. I think the cape looks fantastic. But if they can get all this package like together at $265, a great portrait if they work on it, a great body, a great suit, the light up base, like this has a lot of potential, a lot of hands too. And it's yeah, I don't know, man. That portrait though is real rough.
You think that top left portrait is rough, Zach? Like the top? Like,
well, this
top
is
left?
the same portrait in both photos, right?
Oh, I know. I just mean like just at that angle, just seeing it back a little bit.
I think of these four photos are, the one to the left, the one to the right, and then the two in the little boxes. I think that the leftmost photo looks the best, and the rest of them look pretty bad. But I think, these are not cardboard cutouts, right? We have to be able to enjoy them from multiple angles. And I think it's where it loses me. It almost seems like when you tilt the head down a bit, like can you see my mouse here? No, you can't. But the top left of the little tiny boxes here, I think that is the worst angle, which is then carried over onto the right photo.
You can see like a strong brow line, eh?
Apparently she's not important. I don't know. One thing, I know, Ben, you said that you did this, but I would caution, if you can't live with this portrait as it is, do not pre-order this, because you may get this portrait, right?
I want a Supergirl in my collection.
Exactly. If you need it, pre-order it, but don't pre-order it and cross your fingers that they're going to change it because you hate this portrait and you can't live with it.
Well, as I said, that burned my ass with Doc Brown. I thought they were going to update that. They never did. He came with the holes in his ears, so like it's blows me away still. But
yeah, so Sam says she has really long legs in real life. Do you think this figure's body is new? Hot Toys does say, allegedly, I don't know if it's accurate or not, but newly developed, highly posable, and proportionally accurate body. I would say the legs are super tall compared to the rest of the figure, especially on this photo here on the right. So whether or not they will update it, we'll keep you guys in the loop. For Returnals, staying with Hot Toys, we got blogger pics of Thena. Is that how we say that? Thena. This is Angelina Jolie, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I haven't seen this movie. I don't know that I'm going to ever see this movie. But I think this portrait is okay. I don't know that it's amazing. Certainly not Gilgamesh. But these just scream like bargain bin, like Margot says to me. I don't know that there's people out there that are actively collecting like 1/5 of the Eternals team. What do you think, Dean?
Yeah, this seems like the Gilgamesh was a pretty solid release for what it was. It was a really good portrait. Arguably, probably the most boring of the Eternals, like in terms of the movie. But they needed something to go with that figure, and Gilgamesh and Thena are like kind of like a duo. So it made sense that they came out with this figure, but this figure just feels like, let's just get this over with. Let's just get this thing out here, because it's not particularly super well done. I don't see Angelina Jolie in the sculpt much. I would say this is like 40%. It's like maybe in some photos, if I squint really hard from like 10 feet away, I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess. The hair is just not super well done. And this is no fault of Hot Toys. The armor is not it doesn't really lend well to like tangible, because it's a lot like CG and shit. So
you want me to bring that in?
It just looks very like plasticky and fake. I
wanted to show you guys this because this is the prototype photo on the right hand side here.
Yeah,
that looks
worse.
This looks no. The
one.
What we got is the solicitation.
Yeah, because do you think like
the blogger photo looks worse than this?
Dean, I think this looks like Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Like when you see this picture, it does. Even like the tiara on the front is a little bit lower, and then if you pull up the other photo again.
God, Ben, hang on. Send me or drop that in the private chat. I'm gonna put them side by side.
Okay.
Jesus, that's bad, bro. Not what you're showing on the screen, but what we got.
What we got.
All over the place.
The only positive thing I have to say about this figure is I think the weapons came out really cool, because they're very I don't even know the word, like kind of mystical and floaty and fantastical on screen. And I think in terms of,
I think your computer is going to explode, Ben.
Making it a figure
I got it.
accessory, I think they did really well.
Is it mine or is it Dean's fridge?
I think it's my fridge. But yeah, I think it was just like they were like, let's just get this thing out and move on, because nobody really gives a shit about this. I don't think even they did. So.
But so many people give a shit about Angelina Jolie, so like that alone is a huge win for Hot Toys.
But not this character.
I know, but when are we going to get her again, right? Like if they went and if they were able to get like the Tomb Raider license, for example, and we could get that Angelina Jolie,
that's a deep cut, bro.
I would be all over that figure. But even still, it's cool to see her in figure format. But seeing where the prototype was versus where it's come, like. I still see Angelina Jolie in this photo on the left, but definitely not as well as you can see it on the right with that original. In that sense, it feels a little wind out of your sails, disappointing.
That's like, terrible.
It's
like
a pretty
the
big difference
in decrease in quality. Like Dean said, the necklace. I mean, it's like a whole half the forehead higher. Like
tiara.
I'm sorry, tiara. I can't talk today. The hair, I mean, you have like a little bit of almost like a metallic flake in the hair, which I don't typically like, but you lose that here on this one, which just looks like khaki paint.
It's almost like you could see the flashing on the one on the left.
Yeah.
Of the hair molds.
I don't know, man. Thank you for bringing that up, because Jesus, that's bad.
Yeah, it's not
pretty big difference.
I don't like it. Now this I do like. Fennec Shand from Book of Boba Fett was released, and I gotta say, this portrait, again, it's like I don't understand how they do this, and then this fucking Honey I Shrunk the Kids, baby. Like bro, to Star Wars theory.
Interesting.
I mean, if I just was on a website and I saw the photo on the left, I wouldn't even think twice that was a photo of the actress. Like I wouldn't even, like it's like Uncanny Valley in a good way. Like in a good way. Yeah, exactly, Dean. I mean, this is just fucking incredible, right? Just absolutely incredible. Maybe it's just the pose here, but that rifle should be a little lower, which I know that is like an issue with Hot Toys figures. They can't really shoulder the rifles that well. But God, this is such a cool figure, man. Just such a good figure. I got nothing bad to say about this.
Yeah, this is pretty much a fucking home run out of the park figure. Pretty cool character. A lot of people like Fennec Shand. I don't actually know anybody who like actively dislikes her. I'm sure someone's out there. But I think she's a great addition to the franchise. I think this figure is going to be a great addition to any Star Wars collection. You could fit her in with Bad Batch figures, technically. You could fit her in with obviously Boba Fett, Mando. She could go in a lot of shelves.
Smart, Dean.
Maybe another point worthy smart.
I'll say this. I'm going to give Ben a point for the comparison, and I'm going to give Dean a point for that, because it's funny. I actually just bought a what is it? A Hasbro Black Series. Saw Gerrera, and I know his outfit is different. I know he gets older, but I was like, dude, this goes great with Bad Batch. Just go with your Rogue One figures. Like this goes with just everything, because he's in everything now. So. Yeah. So you guys get a little points there.
Yeah. So I think this is a home run figure, honestly. Like,
and I think as good as this has come out, with the way that they're doing it now, where you really have to commit early, I could see this in a year being a grail, to be honest, because like you said, it goes with almost everything currently in the Disney canon, and there's a lot of figures that you can pair this with.
Yeah, and even like the way they did her hair, you could still move her head sculpt, and it's not going to look out of place. It's going to be able to kind of move and up and across her shoulder. Like nothing about this figure is not good. It's fucking fantastic.
160's Nuts says, this is an example of why it's just a prototype. Chill is a bad mentality. Oftentimes we lose quality. Fair enough.
Referring to the figure
Athena here.
Athena, yeah. Ben, Fennec Shand.
So, I mean, I had this paid off already. When they announced this a while back, this was the only character I wanted from Book of Boba Fett, to be honest. I thought she was more badass in that show than he was. Even at the end scene of that show where all the guys start getting, fucked up, and you're like, oh, like Boba Fett's going to like mess all these guys up, and then she drops down from the ceiling, and I'm like, she was the best part of the show, in my opinion. I loved her. So, and badass actress, beautiful person, beautiful like figure. I mean, unbelievably well done. This is that shrink ray that you guys have coined on Collecting Weekly, that sticks with me. I think the only minor nitpick that I have here is the photo on the right-hand side, her little tech detail at the waist, like where they kind of had to rebuild her stomach there. That looks like kind of a patch on top of the figure body. It doesn't look like an internal section of the character. So even though they've added it, I honestly think that I would probably keep the wrap on to hide it. So, yeah.
There you go. Hannah says, a badass woman. You'll love to see it. Draw the Line says this might be the best female sculpt Hot Toys has made. I got to think about that one for a bit. but you might be onto something there. Draw the line. Might be onto something.
I mean, what you got? What Leia's, Rey's,
Ripley.
Reva's not out yet, but that
Reva's fucking good.
that
skull. Someone sold their soul to
Objectively-
make that fucking skull.
Yeah. Now we'll see how it turns out, but
The Shuri is really good too. The braiding on that is
yeah.
excellent. Yeah, but again, it's not out yet. Aug Toys Duke Leto Atreides. This is him in his. It's not his still suit, but it's sort of like the Atreides armor. From the film. This one's 253 Q4 2023 on 1/6 kit. It's free shipping. I think it is so good to finally have a Oscar Isaac portrait, because they have been doing this man so goddamn dirty in 1/6 scale for years. Looks like you also get a little tease here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this Duncan, Idaho?
It's gotta be Duncan, Idaho. I was thinking it was the
Gurney Halleck. It has to be Duncan, right?
The sand guy, but the armor is not sand guy armor.
I feel like the hair and the brow. It looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that pronounced brow.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna ask y'all a hot seat question about this here in a second. I don't remember him ever having a knife or doing anything action-worthy in the film. I do remember the binoculars, but yeah, this is, and there's people popping fireworks, so I apologize. But this portrait looks good. I have to rewatch the film. I don't remember his hair being that slick back, but I do remember that beautiful beard, and they capture that pretty well. Yeah, a pretty bare bones release from a character that doesn't do a whole lot in the movie, but they're really padding out this line. This is now the fourth figure that we've gotten from Aug Toys, and I'm Slime's looking good, man. Slime's looking real good.
Zach, I saw this movie in theaters and I fell asleep. Basically right when they land on Arrakis, and I woke up just after all the shit hit the fan. And I woke up right before he cracks the tooth. And so I was kind of like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but sure. I watched the movie. I was like, it's okay. It's whatever. Never really had much interest of it past that. And 2 nights ago, I realized that the trailer was out for the second movie. And I was like, that's a pretty good looking trailer, but I don't really remember the first movie. So I got on HBO Max, or Max, whatever the fuck it's called. And I watched this movie all the way through. Holy shit, this movie
fucking bussin'.
fucking slaps, dude.
Bro,
This
I hated you
movie-
for a year when you were like, this movie fucking sucks. It was so boring. I was like, what an idiot. What an absolute fucking idiot.
Hey,
You were like,
where's
I
my
fell
clip? Where's my
Where it
clip?
plays put the button, Dean.
I'm
Push
playing
that
it.
goddamn button.
Hold on. Let me see. Okay, here.
A man can only admit when he was wrong and ask forgiveness.
Dude, I was like, holy
He would openly talk shit
shit
in every chat we were in about how boring this movie was.
Yeah, and there was so much. I mean, literally from the second they land to when the shit hits the fan is almost all the very important parts of the movie. So to me, it was very disjointed. I was like, I guess, but I wasn't going to pay to go see the movie again. But I'm so glad I rewatched this fucking movie. That being said, Leto isn't my favorite character. I thought he was actually kind of lame, but he was a really good father figure, which I enjoy. I hate it when like they make dads like senselessly fucking assholes for no reason. I also don't really like the look of this armor. That being said, the Oscar Isaac head sculpt, fucking amazing right here. I think it looks fantastic. I don't think I would necessarily own this figure, but it is very cool to see, like you said, padding out the line, 4 figures now. I would really like to see his mother, Paul's mother.
Lady. Yeah, the lady.
Because she's kind of like
bother me.
not a good guy.
The mom?
Yeah, like there's a scene
what
at
way?
the. There's like a scene where, because she had alternative motives for him being born.
Right? Yeah, she had
kind of against the will of like her religion.
She was
They were
yeah.
like, we fucking told you not to do this, and you did it anyway. So whatever happens is on you. And then on Arrakis, Leto is like, are you going to protect our son? And she's like, oh, with my life. He's like, I'm not asking you as his mother. I'm asking you as this religious fanatic. And like, she doesn't answer him. And then at the end of the movie where she's like, we need to get off world. He's like, no, fuck that. We're staying here because this is what my dad wanted us to do. And they're walking off into the sands and he's with Zendaya. It cuts to the mother and she does not look fucking happy. She looks fucking pissed, like almost like she wants him dead. So like, she's a really compelling character. I really liked the mother on the second watch.
I have to rewatch it again.
Yeah,
maybe I missed some of that.
That's the vibe I got. I could be wrong, but on the first watch, I was like, oh, the mom's like super badass. But on the second watch, I was like, maybe she's fucking not. But yeah, this movie, I know it's kind of turned into the movie.
I'm all into Dune right now. There's a new Dune board game that I saw because there was a game called Imperium, and I watched a how to play video, and I was like, bro, I was getting glassy-eyed. I was like, I'm into complicated board games, and this, like, I feel like I'm in fucking Dune. I don't want to.
There's also the new game coming out on the consoles and PC potentially.
Oh yeah.
They haven't released gameplay, but it looks, the trailers are cool. But I will definitely own a Paul Atreides. I want the one in his military garb, but if I get a still suit, I won't be upset. You know what I mean?
Well, they did. We was talking about it last week.
No. I meant like whichever one I own, I won't be upset.
Oh, I see.
Because I don't know.
What do you think about this?
Yeah.
For sure. Maxim M said it well here too, that the mom, she was meant to wait and give birth to Paul's sister, which was part of that drama, right? Is that she had the son, so it wasn't supposed to happen. But I'm with Dean. So you ever have that experience where people are like, this movie is amazing, you have to watch it. So for the longest time, you're just like, no, like I'm not going to watch it. It's overhyped to me. I liked the original Dune, and a lot of people loved that movie, and a lot of people absolutely hated that movie. It was a very confusing version of the being the original. But yeah, Sir Patrick Stewart's in that film. Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah,
so,
dude.
There's lots of great aspects of the original, and so I finally was at Walmart a couple months ago now, and this was on sale there in 4K. And I just got my PS5, so I was like, screw it, this will be my first 4K disc. And bought Dune, brought it home, threw it on, and just like you guys, absolutely loved it. I thought it was an amazing movie. I couldn't believe that I'd waited so long to actually watch it. The crazy part for me, though, I don't know if I want to collect from it. As much as I liked the film, I don't feel like I necessarily need to collect from the movie itself. Paul would probably be the only one that I would in order to represent the film as a total, if I were going to buy from it.
Yeah.
But even then, I'm like, I wanted to finish that movie and love the character so much that I would then go and buy a figure version of it, and I wasn't quite there. Now maybe after the second film, to see kind of where the story goes, that may change my mind for sure. This figure specifically, Oscar Isaac, I mean, he's a Hot Toys collector, a 1/6 scale collector. I'm happy to see he's finally getting some figures that he can buy in for his own collection. One of us. And this looks great. I mean, like you said, I think, Zach, the beard in the film, I was like, that is some beard goals right there. Like, that is a beautiful man's beard. That
was one of my biggest problems with this movie. I was like, I didn't buy Oscar Isaac as Paul's dad.
No, I did okay.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought it was fantastic.
Good. Yeah.
No, I think he did a fantastic job as the character, but they don't look anything alike. He's not that much older, is he? Like, he's not an old guy.
Oscar Isaac, he's got to be getting into his 40s, 50s now.
Yeah, but Paul's almost 30, but he had him when he was 15.
I think he's only meant to be 18 in the movie.
I thought Paul was quite a bit younger, but
okay, that's fair. But also to Ben's point about maybe not wanting to collect from this, I think when this set of movies is done, this is potential Lord of the Rings territory of
could be right.
film quality
super epic.
And yeah, super epic. that like when it's done, you're gonna be like, "Fuck, I should have bought."
Yeah, that's
at
fair.
least one representation of like Paul or something. Because these are gonna be. I think this film series is gonna be crazy.
For sure.
We have
even the Josh Brolin character was kind of cool. So
we have a hot seat.
Let's do it.
Let's do 1 minute on the clock. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, so there are going to be 2 points that you guys can argue. Whatever point Dean chooses, I want Ben to argue the opposite point. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, let me bring up the timer here. Now, we all know InArt is projected to be making Dune figures starting with Paul. Would you rather collect figures that have a much higher potential for quality in InArt? Right, you might have rooted options, you might have a more accurate portrait, a much nicer figure at a higher price point, though you may only get that one figure. Or would you rather collect Aug Toys, where you have at this point 4 figures with a 5th teased at a little bit of a lower price point? So the question is, go all in for one figure with a lot of quality, or a line of figures that, you know, might be a little less quality, might be a little less expensive. And whatever point you choose, Ben, I want you to argue the opposite point.
Okay.
I would easily choose Aug Toys over InArt. I think the quality that they're proven to be given, not just what we think we're going to get, they've released banger. I think that the drop in quality is not significant enough to justify waiting, hoping, and potentially not getting a full line of figures. I think Aug Toys is padding out the line nicely that you could have a full collection in a very reasonable amount of time. I mean, the second movie's not even out, and there are 4 figures in. Potentially 5. So I think, for me, it's a no-brainer to pick Aug Toys and skip out on the like minute improvement of quality you'll get from InArt. And you're saving a bunch of money.
You're mute.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Ben, the same question for you, but collecting InArt.
I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that up. That was an amazing answer. But come on, Dean. Let's be honest here, okay? Quantity over quality? No, we're talking quality over quantity here today, okay? And when I say that, I mean you want to come into your collection room and look at that figure, that one figure that you were able to afford because you can't afford anything else, and know exactly who that is when you take a look at it. Right?
I love it.
Who doesn't want that? You don't want to walk into your collection and be like, who the hell is that guy? It could be Oscar Isaac, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's Oscar Isaac's brother. And you have to play that off as you still spent $200 on it or whatever, and you didn't even quite hit the mark. And then also, let's talk about accessories, okay? Because who doesn't want a die cast whatever and rooted hair that's done with horse meat hair or whatever you get from InArt? I think quality over quantity will always win when it comes to a figure collection room.
There you go. I'm gonna give.
I think he gets 2 points for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give 2 points to Ben.
That was hard.
I'm gonna give 1 point to Dean. That was an epic answer, boys. Let me. Ben, Dean's at 4 points. Ben is at 3 points, and the fireworks are gonna get pretty bad. So we're just gonna have to live with that. So Ninja Squirrel says, Zach, what's that big blue Jurassic World behind you? I've never seen one that big. That is
the Indominus Rex.
Should I go pull out my blick and go put some shots off? The Indo Rex, colossal figure. He's huge. He's like 42 inches. He's actually, I think, 1/12 scale.
It's like as big as my cat.
I was gonna say it looks like it's actually proper 12 scale.
Yeah, it is 12 scale. I'm gonna repaint it so it's a work in progress. Let's see. Excellent work, gentlemen. Excellent work. Love
SpongeBob SquareBalls caught that. I don't know what the fuck horse meat hair is. It just flowed out. I couldn't contain my verbalness. So
Dean, tell me about this. Mondo Toys Doomslayer 295. These are limited to 666 pieces.
God damn, is it really limited? Fuck, I'm probably not gonna get one.
They're still up for
Yeah.
order.
Oh, nice. I didn't even know they went up for order. Fuck, I gotta get one. Yeah, so this Doomslayer Mondo figure. He's 12 inches tall, so he's not technically 6 scale. He's a little short. Doomslayer is right under 7 feet tall, so he should be closer to 13 inches. But it's whatever. You can futz him in. But yeah, Doomslayer. He comes with all the accessories you want: the BFG, the sword, the shotgun, his little laser cannon, his wrist-mounted little dagger knife thingy. Yeah, from Doom Eternal. I mean, it's the fucking Doomslayer. He's badass. The demons killed his pet rabbit, and he went on a fucking tear. Literally, like, rip and tear is like the slogan of the game. So, it's cool to see. I mean, basically, you know, it's a Mondo, so it's a giant action figure. It's not like a 6 scale figure. But I think that lends kind of well to the design of the figure. You know, he's not some goofy, you know, Fison body with like armor bits that don't fit properly. So I think it's cool. I think it's going to be cool, and I hope I get one.
Fantastic. I don't have anything to say about this because I've never played this game. I don't know anything about it. Ben, have you played this game?
I have not played the game, but I did look up images before the show just to see how it would relate, because I do think Mondo Toys does their homework a lot of the time, which I appreciate, and the cost is usually representative of that. You get figure accessories here that you would want with this character, from what I can see from all of the photos of the game and the representation. I think the demon head is really cool. When you were explaining the plot line of the game, it kind of sounded John Wick-ish to me a little bit. Somebody kills his pet rabbit or something and he goes crazy. Very, very John Wick. But no, I think this is cool. This will not come to my collection. I don't have an attachment to it. I do remember playing the original Doom games back in the day, to which you can actually download still. Same guy. Cool. So I didn't know that, and like you can still download those on PS5 now, the original games, which is pretty cool for like pretty cheap too. So, and it's good, crazy fun. So I will not collect the figure, but I'm excited for the folks who love this franchise. That's pretty badass.
Where do I pre-order this?
Mondoshop.com, I would think.
No, you have to pre-order it direct with Dark Horse Direct.
Oh, it has to go through Dark Horse Direct.
Yeah. The only concern, and I'll echo what Eric in our chat has said, I worry that this figure doesn't, like, it's articulated, but I always say, like, there's some figures that have articulation, but it's not necessarily useful articulation. And I worry that this figure, you know, isn't going to be able to really do the things that it needs to be able to do. And so I guess we'll have to wait and see if that is a thing.
Bro, they want $300 up front? Ugh.
That's what they want.
I don't know about that.
Limb Toys put out a Joel update. I think it looks fine. Just blow through this one real quick, but yeah, I think it looks fine. Looks like it still does have those. What's that?
Looks like a demon.
Like a demon.
Bit like the black eyes.
How black are they, Ben? Robotech Max Sterling 1/12 scale. This is part of their advanced action figure series. Dean, you collect this line.
Yeah, I do. And Max Sterling is the ace pilot of the series. He's incredible. This is their like military casual uniform. It's not the flight suit. So this is like what they wear when they're like, you know, walking around base and stuff. So it's a little odd that it's an actual cloth uniform, because the pilot ones are not in cloth uniforms, so it's going to stand out. I'm assuming they're going to pad this line. They did come out with the Rick Hunter in like his pre-military flight uniform, and that's a cloth suit, and that figure turned out incredible, arguably better than the rest of the line. I just got that one a couple weeks ago, if you guys remember. So this was really cool to see Max Sterling. I really hope they do Rick Hunter in this uniform. Then you could do Roy in this uniform. Ben Dixon you could do in this uniform. They haven't done a Ben figure, but they've done his Veritech.
It's gotten down shame.
You could do Max Sterling's wife, Miria. That'd be cool because she wears a very similar outfit. Lisa Hayes. Everyone basically has a version of this outfit eventually. So, yeah, I pre-ordered this the second I saw it. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. So I got this figure on order. Yeah, it's super cool. I love it.
Congratulations. Now, there was also the Anime Expo. So go ahead and walk us through what these are.
Yeah, so this is the Anime Expo was this past weekend. So pretty much anybody who makes anime figures, figure arts, Good Smile, mostly Good Smile, 3-0, they were all showing off their figures. So this is a Neandroid Toothless, which I think looks so freaking cute. I think this is going to be incredible when it comes out. And Neandroids are, Zach, what are they, like $40, I think, maybe?
No, they're like $100. They're pretty expensive.
Are they really? God damn, I thought they were cheaper than that.
No, they're quite expensive.
Oh, damn. Well, this one looks like it's going to be super cute. And there's not a whole lot of Toothless merch out there. It's like a few statues, and that's about it. So I think this is cool. Obviously, it's a little like chibi-fied. So it doesn't look like, exactly like Toothless, but you know who it's supposed to be. So I think it's cool to see. I like that.
Cute as fuck.
Then we got a tease from Good Smile, the Pop-Up Parade. These should be Pop-Up Parade XL. Guts. This is based off the 90s anime. His armor is very different in that anime. Black Swordsman. And then we got a Nosferatu Zod in apostle form. He doesn't have his wings, which is fine because he doesn't always have them, and that would be a ridiculous amount of plastic.
Yeah.
This is probably going to be an XXL pop-up parade.
Yeah.
And those are usually around... So regular pop-up parades are like... I don't really know what scale they are, but they're a little bigger than 12 scale. And they're usually like $30 to $40. The XLs are around $90, and the XXLs are like $250. But those are technically quarter scale size figures. So for $250, it's not bad. But they really don't come with anything save for like a clear base. So that's really cool because Berserk stuff, honestly, I don't think they make enough of it. And there's only one other Nosferatu Zod you could buy, and it's from like 20 years ago, and it's like half the size. So I think that's very cool. So I will definitely own Zod if they release it.
There you go. Cool. There was also, I think we've seen this Griffith before, but
not painted. Yeah, we've saw this.
Yeah, okay. It was like just a gray primer.
Yeah, everything was gray. So this is the first time seeing it fully fleshed out. Looks fantastic. Also looks like they're going back to a normal 6-scale body with, the armor pieces on top, which is cool. I really like the way they did the Berserk guts and the Berserk armor, where it's basically like a Mondo figure, just a giant action figure. So to see them go back to this is kind of interesting, but it's whatever. I don't care. Griffith is definitely somebody I want on the shelf with my Guts figure anyway. So yeah, this is a fucking home run whenever they release it.
The one on the left looks like a character you would use in Elden Ring almost, like the armor pieces and stuff.
Well, funny you should say that. From Software games are heavily inspired by Berserk, so
interesting.
Yeah,
I could see it.
Then we also got a tease for the Figma Link from the new game, which is crazy because they've made Link on just about every game, but they did not release one for Breath of the Wild. And a lot of people were upset about that, but then they teased this and everybody's like, finally a new Link. So that's really cool to see. He looks fantastic. I've been wanting a new Link figure for a long time. This looks like it's going to lend well to a really cool figure. So that's very cool.
Sorry, Dean, you might have said when I was mute. I apologize. Do they ever come painted, or do they come unpainted like this?
No, these are just prototypes. So
These are just prototypes. Okay.
Yeah, they will be. All these will be painted if they come out.
Gotcha.
I like because sometimes they just show off figures like, look what we could do, but they never actually come out with them. The Link is probably a pretty safe bet. You could probably take this one to the bank. And then we also got a preview of a new Ryoko Matoi from Kill la Kill Papa Parade, which is weird because I just got the new one like, I don't know, 5 months ago. But I love Ryuko, so this is cool. In her school uniform. But the other one's also in her school uniform, so like I don't really know what the purpose of this is. But anything Kill la Kill, I'll spend money on. So that was cool to see. For me.
Yeah, love to see it. And then what is this? I've seen this before.
Yeah, so these are Hollow Knight from the first and the second game. Hollow Knight is a Metroidvania style, if you know what that is.
Yes, I've played this game before.
Yeah, heavily inspired by Dark Souls and Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Revered by almost anybody in the gaming community.
This game was made by one dude, right?
I believe it was, at least the first one.
Yeah.
And yeah, people absolutely adore these. I think the style lends really well to the Nendroid line, which is what we're looking at.
Yeah.
And these are up for pre-order right now. Let me get the prices really quick. I totally forgot. So these are not prototypes. These are actually, you could order these. They're not out yet. They're pre-orders, but it is very cool. I think the third game is supposed to be coming out soon, so or at least it's been teased. So it's cool to see that they're coming out with the figures for this. Of course, the website is not loading. Here we go. So they should be around, $40. Shipping is probably going to add, another, $20-$30 to that for us over here in the States, but around November. So yeah, about, $60-$70. Very cool. I'll probably own these.
Yeah. John says, happy 4th of July, U.S. peeps. Thanks, bro. Happy Canada Day. And this was cool for you, Dean. Another Robotech figure to add to the
so
collection.
this is the 3-0 VF1J Rick Hunter. A lot of people were hating on this. I don't know why.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
I have no idea, but they were like, the head looks weird and this, that, or the other. Honestly, I would consider myself a pretty decent snob, and I think this looks fantastic. I don't think it looks as good as the Chogokin, but you're also paying like probably a third of the price. So it's a different scale. It's its own thing. It's not trying to be the Chogokin. And it's the company's first foray into this, and it actually transforms. So I believe this is the second time we're seeing it painted. But yeah, they brought this to Anime Expo and it looks fantastic. It's also, which is weird, solicited as Robotech, not Macross, which for 3-0 is, I guess, not that out of like left field, but I thought it was interesting. But yeah, it's I can't wait for this. I'll get any version of this I can. So
wow, congratulations. We have a 3,000 subscriber giveaway thanks to our friends over at Collector Zone. So I'm trying to find all these buttons here. We have a bonus code. What should the bonus code be, Ben? Tell me the words.
Chocolate nut.
Chocolate nut is the bonus code. One word, 2 word, 1 nut, 2 nut, whatever you want.
I was going to say meat hair.
Wow, meat hair.
Horse meat hair.
So click that. Yeah, shout out to Collector Zone. We're only about 70 subs away, so nice. should be any day now, any week now, any month now that we do the drawing, any year now. And yeah. Episode 275, our topic of tonight is collection room planning. I am in the process of beginning to plan for my new studio upgrade. So I'm a very visual person. I'm also a very lazy person, and I really hate wasting time. And I really like to be efficient. And so, when I moved into this house and this office, once we signed that paperwork, the first thing I did was take a measuring device, measured to like the millimeter every little nook and cranny in this room, and then did the same with my shelves. And I mapped out.
Make sure you measure twice, because you're not good.
Oh yeah, I did. I measured where the windows are. I measured where the doors are, where the door openings go, where I can and can't put things. And when I moved, everything fit exactly the way that I needed to. And I saved a lot of time. I had, 2 or 3 different iterations. And once I got into the office, this layout really spoke to me. So my office now is 10.5 foot left to right, and then 10 foot front to back. There's a large section here on the bottom right corner that I can't use because there's a little quarter wall here, and then where the door opens, I obviously can't put anything there. And then I have a closet back there, so I can't use any of this space for that door opening. Now, I'm moving everything here into my garage, which we're going to convert into like another room. And so my space is going to go from 10.5 feet by 10 to 20 feet by about 11. It's more like 10.5 still. It's just a single car garage. And I have the option to expand my garage shelves into larger shelves, and 2 of them. So 36 inches is what I have here. These will be 48, 2 of those. And I'm looking at things that I've always wanted to do. So I've always wanted to have like a permanent table. I have a table here, but it's kind of like a folding table. It's real shitty. It's kind of hard to podcast on. A permanent table. Victoria's even thinking of moving her office into that space as well. Planning out camera angles. So in the future, you guys may see me from this other. So you see me from the right. You may see me from the left in the future if that layout goes through. But it's so fun planning new layouts. Like I, again, have all the measurements. Everything's to scale. Moving everything around. Saving time. Seeing what's possible. And this space is nice because there's really not a lot of non-usable space. The red area on the back is really the only space I can't use because it's going to be the access room for the water heater. The door for the garage is that door up there up top. And that I can put stuff on because I don't think I'll ever really open it, but I do want to have the ability if I needed to open it. And I'm wondering, when you guys, because Ben, you just moved and everything seems to be fitting perfectly. And Dean, you just had a big move. How did you guys plan your moves? Because I feel like mine is a little bit anal, and I don't know that anyone else in the world does this.
Yeah, you're definitely taking it to a whole other level that I just wouldn't consider. The only thing I measured was I knew I wanted to get my DTOFs off the ground. Yeah. So I was like, well, I'm going to have 6 DTOFs and I want them this high off the ground. And so I measured what I would need to build like some risers. I overbuilt mine because I know some people just buy like IKEA QBs and put the DTOFs on top of them, but I was like, I'm not leaving anything to chance. So I over-engineered mine. But I knew exactly where they were going to go and why they were going to go there. And then I just designed everything around that. So that's pretty much, they're behind me now. I did eventually move my desk to the other side of those DTOFs. If you guys remember, I used to be on that back corner over there. Now I'm over here. And so I was like, well, I'm going to need a new desk because I needed Punchline to have her own like area because she's such a big statue. So I just found the biggest fucking desk I could find, and then I butted them up against some bookshelves, and I think it looks cool. So that was basically my thought process for all that.
Interesting. Yeah, so it's weird because I had owned my house, right? So I'd set up my basement anticipating that I would be there, not forever necessarily, but for a pretty extended period of time. So I'd invested quite a bit of money into the Billy bookshelves with the Philips light strips, the Philips Hue light strips, and it ended up being Canadian about $1,500 per case. And then I found out I was moving, so I was like, okay, I need to find an apartment that can house these shelves. And I don't care if they're necessarily in the same room together or if I have to split them out a little bit. Preferably, I would have liked to have one in the living room, so when I'm watching TV, I'd still have some figures in there that I could look at. And then every apartment I went to view had baseboard, radiator heaters. And so the Billy bookshelves, they're designed to go like just over top of a baseboard, but not over top of a heat unit. So I'm not kidding, dude. I went and saw probably 15, 20 different places that I had a hard time getting into because rent is insane in Canada right now, but also because I wasn't going to be able to fit these shelves. I finally found this apartment, and basically my living room is in the center of the apartment, and then I've got this room, which is kind of like a secondary bedroom, and the master bedroom. And I had brought one shelf unit in here. It was this one behind me, because this was a wall that when you're out in the living room, you can see into the room. I sent you some pictures, Zach. Just I don't know if you got them, but you can see this shelf from the living room and the kitchen through the doorway, which was cool. And then I was texting. Yeah, so here's like my living room right now. This is just me. I just got it to set up on the weekend, so it's not fully done yet. But this is the shelf again that you guys can see here. But when you walk into that room, I was going to originally put my desk against this wall, so when I'm streaming with you guys, you'd be able to see this whole display behind me. But then I walked in and I was like, actually, I could potentially have the desk in the center of the room like I am right now and have my both Billy bookshelves on both walls. So now when I'm sitting at my desk, on this side, I've got a whole wall of unit, basically, of figures that I can look at while I'm streaming. And when I swivel in my chair, I've got this side as well, and the desk right in the center. And it worked out really cool because now it's like a completed kind of collection room, right? I can close the door if I have guests over that I don't trust or I know just won't get it. I can close the door and my apartment feels relatively, normal, I guess. I don't know if you'd call it that, like nerd free. So, but if I want to show people, then it's the collection room and I can kind of make it my own and get excited about it. So
yeah, because not everybody gets collecting.
No, exactly.
Especially
right?
figure-wise. So.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And then yesterday I went to IKEA and picked up some curtains to go behind my computer screen so that it would, dead some of the sound a little bit, like reduce some of the echoiness for streaming and just for the room itself. And it's pretty cool. So I'm really excited about it. And now I've got the rest of the apartment to add a couple of collectibles here and there too, but you guys will see the room change all around me. The cool thing about this room that I was excited about was, depending on the mood that I feel, I can just change where my computer monitor, because I've got the iMac screen, I can just change the direction of the iMac screen and sit on the other side of the desk. And all of a sudden I'll just have a whole different display behind me whenever I feel like it. So kind of cool.
Thanks, bud.
But yeah, not nearly as detailed as you, Zach. That's pretty crazy.
I just hate being inefficient, right? Like I hate when you get to a spot, because Carlito has this point here. He ordered Amaji cases and it took them so long. By the time it arrived, he had overestimated his space. And I just don't want to because this build is probably not going to be done till December. I don't want to be thinking of buying these shelves as they come up and thinking oh, I'm going to have this space to do this and this space to do this. And then I get there and I can't do any of it, right? I just don't want to be inefficient with my time. And there's also other things I need to plan out, like getting internet to the garage. There's just a lot of things, and I really don't like to leave those kind of things to chance. So I am just trying to plan, because once it gets started, it's going to be a really fast process of getting I don't know if I'm going to do flooring, but getting the garage floor sort of how it's going to be, getting the walls put in and the insulation put in, getting this and that done, and I just need to be ready for that when it comes. And when I move everything, it's going to be a very fast process also. I'm not going to have time to oh well, let me try this here, let me try it's my brothers are going to come over, help me move, and it's going to be done in 2 hours. So it's going to be an interesting process. I don't know if I'm going to film any of that for the YouTube channel, but stay tuned. Just got the shelves, or the shed done this weekend, the interior at least. So going to start emptying the garage, moving some things around, and hopefully here in the next few months we'll have some progress. But yeah, appreciate you guys' thoughts. Quickly checking in here. Ben, I'll need you to pick 4 things because we need your list for Hot Seat this month. So
okay, we'll
just get with Marco on that and he'll make you a graphic. I struck out so far with Symbiote Spider-Man, Spirit Yoda, Holographic Iron Man Mark 42, 43, and Nurse Joker. Also, that Nurse Joker's packing a little something. My goodness. I also, Dean the Dream. What did we say? Was it 5 points, or how many points was it, Dean?
I don't remember.
I'm just going to do 5 points.
But I'm 1 for 4.
5 points for Dean the Dream for picking the old man Han Solo for his pick. He also had
Indiana Jones.
God, I got fireworks behind me. The dog's freaking out in the other room. It's a mess tonight. You had Spider-Man PS4 or 5. You had Miles. You had Indiana Jones and Bo-Katan season 3 of the Mando rather. Eddie, who should be back next week, had Gideon, Keaton, Batman, a Tom Holland Spider-Man, and a different version of the Flash with the Keaton Batsuit. And then Marco had the Death Trooper, Terminator, holographic Iron Man. I want to say he did the 46, 47, and then Scarecrow. So Ben will pick his picks, and we will take a look-see at, who wins at the end of the month. Our movie of the week was Howl's Moving Castle. We're going to review that next week so we can get everyone's feedback on it. But Dean, we'll cut a little early today. Tell us about these sweet angels.
Yeah, the sweet, sweet angels. Give a quick shout out to Ian CV, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, Equan, Chris Valencerina, the beautiful, the handsome, the nut swallower, Ben Thomas.
Whoa, I chew them first.
Wow. The nut swallower. Jesus.
Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Gibbs, Daminator, Joel Brada, Thomas Clark, Eric Switzer, Six Guns Figs, Billy Badfish, Toy Cartel, Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Kratt, Big Old Fern, Cesar Mara Quinn, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomonsky, Rick Gregorio, The Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Ezucina, The Illustrious Rainer, Alan Morgan, Tu Cothray Wad, Derek B., Aries Portillo, Mark Randolph, Alvin J., Jazz Carroll, Joe Ridley, Pablo Meza, D-Rock, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Madon, Jimmy James, Stephen Purchase, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. What a bunch of angels.
What a bunch of angels. The July-August Patreon benefits are the ZW sticker and the Small Talk new logo sticker, which will be announced soon. But Manny and Sean did a great job on that. Look at that. Ben's already got his ZW sticker.
It's pretty cool. It's very, very
Jump
cool.
the queue. It's that crystal glitter. It's like the Pokemon card
I
stuff.
like it. I like it.
Paid extra for that. Spared no expense, Ben. Patreon starts at $5 for the digital tier, $7.50 for the Sweet Angel, $15 for the Certified Crispy, and $25 for the What a Guy tier. What a Guy tier gets you doubles of all the stickers we send and access to the Pog Deluxe set. I think we only have one of those left, so we have to figure out what we're going to do going forward. But this month... this week, everyone that's a patron will be getting the ZW sticker if they're at least in the 750 tier with this letter. I have the May June stuff I need to send out on Friday, and since I'm going to be starting to pack up this office, I want to get these out of the house so they don't get damaged because they were quite expensive. So your next letter should be in next week or the week after, and you'll have 3 stickers in there if you're in the 750 tier or above. YouTube channel members, we have Absolute Irwin, Alvin J, Andre, Andres IB, Andrew Gibo, Benjamin Hansen, Big Ol' Fern, Blurred Dad Life, Bob Dylan, CC3PO, Chris V, Cram, CT603, DJ, Daminator, Dante's Boneyard, Eclectic Collector, Equan, Fat Batman, Gare Bear, Gotham Cenobites, Jake, Just Another Friday Night, Justin Sports Card, KJ Smith, LV Avenger 702, Mark Pearson, Money Mendez, Mr. Mom Collectibles, Knight, OG Fan, OMFG Rick, 16 Figure Focus, Paul Schreiber, Philip the Fool, S Beam, Sam Gist, Slifer, SpongeBob SquareBalls, Sunnyville Russ, Ben Thomas Show, Toy Cartel, and Zeke. Carlito says, appreciate you guys streaming on the 4th of July. Yeah, we we thought about taking off, but had a bunch of people message us asking if we were going to be on and wanted to stream for the homies. YouTube channel memberships start at 99 cents if you're a Patreon member, or $2.99 if you are not. We also have TeePublic if you want. I think it's on sale for 4th of July, so get you a t-shirt there if you'd like. Looking at the network, we have live unboxing on Monday. Lane and Dean both unboxed figures yesterday. Lane did Crosshair, and Dean did the what's her name? Nebula. Question of the week on Sundays. OFAC podcast alternating with Small Talk on Thursdays. We got Small Talk this week. You're watching CW Live, of course. After Dark tomorrow at 10:30. Live and Let Dice. We're streaming it on Friday, but it's airing on Saturday, so it'll be a little bit of a rerun, if you will. But Just Another Friday Night will be Fridays, so be sure to tune in there. Ox PD, we just recorded an episode last week, and for Ox Plays, the Patreon members were I was demanded, I wasn't even told, I was demanded to play Jurassic World Evolution 2. I got 2 streams in so far. I think I'm almost done with the tutorial missions. So I don't know how much of that I'm going to be streaming, but the feedback seems really good. So if you guys like that stream, comment, let it be known, interact with the videos, because, if I'm doing it and it gets like no views and no comments, then, at some point we have to do something else. But yeah, that's the network. Ben, what do we got going on in your
Yeah, so last week we skipped Let's Get Nuts just because I was literally moving in. So Let's Get Nuts coming up on the Ben Thomas Show on Sunday afternoon. Definitely stay tuned for that. We're going to have a cool panel on of folks and a lot to talk about, to be honest. So we may skip a couple topics because, obviously the closer we get to Sunday, the more crazy shit can come up. Going to have some entertainment news as well as figure news on there. And then you guys can always find me here, of course, on Collecting Weekly Tuesdays with the boys. Always a good time. I might unbox my InArt 2-pack Rooted Hair Joker on Monday night next week with you guys. I've got it sitting right beside me. I've only opened it enough to make sure that it's not messed up, and otherwise I've kept it in the box. So I've been battling whether I want to unbox it live or do it privately and just enjoy it. But we'll see. Yeah. Stay tuned. I'll keep you guys updated. And then shout out to all of you fine American folks on the southern country there. Happy Independence Day. I might watch Will Smith's Independence Day tonight and think of you all while he battles aliens. So
there you go. It's better than him battling Chris Rock, I'll tell you that much, America. Sam Gist says, appreciate you guys tonight as well. Thanks, boys. Yeah, shout out to all the people in the chat. I know, Ben, you've had a friend recently watching the channel. I think that's great. Yeah, that we have people that aren't crazy nerds that are watching our nerdy show, and appreciate that. But yeah, I hope everyone had a good Independence Day. Hopefully you guys have a safe Independence night. I want everyone to message me photos of all 10 fingers and toes tomorrow, because I don't want my homies fucking blowing their hands off tonight. All right, be safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't let your friends drink and drive. Be safe, guys. Don't do something stupid. Yeah, definitely. Anyways,
especially blow your finger off.
Dude, there was that one NFL player blew his whole fucking hand off.
That's insane.
Basically. Anyways, sorry that got real serious at the end, but yeah, I don't even fuck up their life tonight. Anyways, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
And I'm Ben. I almost said Marco.
Remember, what goes up must come down too. Don't go fucking firing your 6 shooters in the air, boys. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.
Happy 4th of July, babies.